What's going on YouTube? My name is Kayla Haley, and I am starting a new channel. Welcome to the Kayla Haley YouTube channel. I just wanted to welcome you guys and give you a little bit of information about what this channel is about. I started my entrepreneurship journey actually last year in 2016 and around summer of last year. And I started off by making a podcast, an MMA podcast called Girl Fight Talk. Link will be in the description if you're interested in checking it out. But throughout that adventure and throughout that journey, learned a lot about the things that you shouldn't do with the business. It wasn't, had tons of doors that were opened and lots of opportunities that were presented to me. Got to interview people like, Megan Anderson, who's now a UFC fighter. Spoke on the phone with tons of fighters. Got to talk to Conor McGregor's coach. Tons of people. It's cool, but it didn't make money. And it's hard when you're building a media centered business because you just have to, the commitment to the consistency and the quality of the content is paramount. And more than anything, it's the consistency. And so I'm starting out this new journey here on YouTube, on my new YouTube channel, to really just focus on the consistency, focus on just really what Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm sure you all know who he is. He talks about, documenting instead of creating. If you go to my other channel, you'll see that I did a lot of production value. There's a lot of, we had a fancy studio. We had, full, board with all the inputs and outputs and, dual camera setup. It was expensive and it wasn't sustainable to the level of consistency that I needed it to be. And so I'm going to kind of take a step back and provide the consistency of content. And I think the quality is still going to be there because of what I bring to the table and what I'm talking about. But, as I have more, funds coming in, I'll be able to up the level of the quality again. Currently, I started a digital marketing agency and basically took a lot of the knowledge from my podcast and what I learned from behind the scenes, the business side of things, and said, hey, let me do this for companies who actually have a marketing budget. And so I started that journey, took a course. Jordan Steen, serial entrepreneur. I'll also link his course down below. Tremendous value. Learned so much from him between social media marketing, which honestly, it's so much more than Ty's course. I've heard so much feedback and so many, not the best, reviews from from Ty's course. I think it costs like $1,000 to join. Ty's not even the one teaching the course, so it's kind of weird. But Jordan's course, tons of value. Learned so much more about just the proper way to run Facebook ads, content marketing, all the things like social, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And obviously the best way to be sharp on all of these skills is by actually doing it and being a practitioner, something that Gary also talks about. So I'm putting, all of these things into practice and experimenting on myself so that I can provide my clients with the most up-to-date information and knowing the nuances with each of these platforms to be able to give them that kind of feedback. So that's, so far up to this date, I have signed a $15,000 client, and I'm currently just doing their branding and their marketing, and we should probably be done with all of their stuff in the next 2 weeks. So as you can imagine, I started back with them in early October, and so it's been a lot of work. And I have a team who works with me. contractors, both for branding, for design work, on the branding side of things, recreating their logo, getting all of their print and digital assets together. And then on the actual website of things, I have a developer and a designer, copywriter, to help with all of that and putting everything together. So it's a lot of work. Digital marketing is, it's such a low bar in terms of what you need to do in order to start, and the cost, the actual monetary value of what you need to start is very low. But you still have to put in the hours and the effort to learn and to network, to create. I mean, it wasn't just like I created this team overnight. It was through a year of networking and building up my podcast that I was able to bring in these contractors, people who I already have a relationship with, people who I already trust, and they're able to provide the different, skill sets that I need in order to make my agency run. So I have like I said, I have a $15,000 client so far. I'm going to be signing on a monthly retainer contract with them, probably by the end of this week. And then I also have a purely just a video production client that I'm doing, work for as well. And so the niches that I've decided to work with are, a lot of, marketers will say focus on a specific niche. And as much as that is true, and as much as you want to become a domain expert when you are marketing and selling your services or products, when you're starting, you don't really know who that is yet. So you kind of need to throw out a wider net to see who's going to bite on your bait. And then from there, you're kind of able to narrow down your focus. And so I started off with auto. So like the auto industry, dealerships. And it's the auto, first of all, the auto industry is so far behind. It's not even funny. And so they usually hire some like family member or intern to be like, you just run our, our Facebook or our social media. And most of the time, this intern has no idea what they're doing. I actually was on a call 2 weeks ago with the marketing manager for a auto group out in Michigan. I won't say the name of the auto group, but that one marketing manager is in charge of over 40 dealerships' social media accounts, which is crazy. Like you need one, honestly, it would be a lot just for one dealership to deal with one dealership to make sure that they have the quality of their ads, their, knowing the brand of the car that they're selling, the market in which you're selling to. They have dealerships in California, they have dealerships in Florida, they have dealerships all throughout the Southeast and the Deep South, Tennessee, Alabama. It's like you're dealing with so many different markets that you have to have people dedicated to catering to and creating campaigns specifically for the market that you're trying to reach. And so again, started with auto. They're really slow. They don't, and it's like the good old boy network. And so they really only deal with people who they trust. But then I realized, okay, maybe like, there's definitely opportunity in the higher end luxury market. So I reached out to Ferrari of Denver and was able to do a couple projects with them. And then I was looking throughout their Instagram and realized, wait a minute, there's some cross marketing opportunities here with the aviation industry. And so I actually have an aviation client as well right now. So, when you're creating your journey, when you're on your journey, be open-minded, stay attentive to the different opportunities that are there. The whole point about, business and it's similar to like research. You don't really know what works until you do so many iterations to know, okay, yeah, this is what's working. And so what's working for me currently is I have a theme of niches. I work in the financial services. I have a financial services client. I have a nonprofit client. I have a, what do I have? Oh, a private charter client. And then I have a couple of prospects, but one of my prospects is in real estate, like luxury real estate. And then I also have one that is in real estate development. And I'm here in Denver, Colorado, so there's I mean, from sea to shining sea, here in Colorado, there's construction going on everywhere because of the, honestly, I think it's because of the marijuana industry and how much money it's brought into the state. So that's kind of just a little, introduction into who I am, what this channel is going to be about. And I also just wanted to create a place for women to talk about their entrepreneurship journey. Most of the folks that you'll see out there are Tanner J. Fox, who is awesome, and I honestly really respect the journey that he's on. Ryan Hildreth, Graham Stephan, don't know how to pronounce his last name. And then obviously the big guys, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, the other Ty Lopez, right? But I think that in order for, sometimes in order for you to have the confidence to do something, you need to see that someone who is kind of walking the same journey as you has done it before. And so I hope, obviously I'm just, in a lot of ways I'm starting my journey, but I think that, to have a community where especially women can kind of talk about their journeys and entrepreneurship, I think is really valuable. So I can't wait to share more with you guys about what I'm up to and how this all works out. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.